Hello and welcome. I'm Chef Joel and today we're going to talk about something which has been brain racking me for the last couple of days. Something I've been seeing on the road. Every time I'm on the streets, there's promos on air about this movie called Love Shafte Chicken Khurana. Do you know anything about it? Do you know anything about Chicken Khurana? I don't know. I've been going online, I've been asking my Punjabi friends, what is a recipe to Chicken Khurana? No answer. So, to satisfy my curiosity, I have created my own version of Chicken Khurana. You want to know what is it? Come and join me. So for our chicken dish, we require 1 kg chicken cut into curry size pieces. So I got 1 kg, it will serve about 4 to 5 people. And we have for a marinade, we require a teaspoon of turmeric powder, about 2 teaspoons of red chilli powder, about 1 teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder, about 1.5 teaspoons of dhania powder or coriander powder, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Then I have about a cup of dahi or yogurt. Then we require 4 to 5 bay leaves, 4 to 5 cloves or lavang, and 4 to 5 green cardamoms. After that, I'm also using a pinch of turmeric again for my gravy, kasuri methi, typical Punjabi style, and about 1.5 teaspoons of Punjabi garam masala. I'm using about 1.5 teaspoons of chopped ginger, 1.5 teaspoons of garlic, and 8 green chillies sliced thinly. Then I've got about 1.5 teaspoons of coriander leaves. I've got 3 chillies which I'm going to use as a garnish, and about 1.5 teaspoons of ginger again. Now I've got close to about 3 large tomatoes cut into dices, and I've got 5 onions which I have fried. Use a little pinch of salt, sugar to give you the nice brown color, typical Punjabi restaurant dhaba style onions, and then I have blended it in the mixer. So I've got this nice paste over here. And lastly but not the least, I have got cashew nut, about 2.5 tablespoons of cashew nut, which I have boiled for about 10 minutes. Send it into the blender, put about a teaspoon of yogurt just to give it a nice creamy mixture, and this is what I have. So come on and let's prepare our chicken dish now. So to make the marination, we're going to be adding about 1.25 cup of yogurt. Then I will use about a teaspoon of turmeric, 2 teaspoons of red chilli powder, 1.5 teaspoons of jeera powder, 1.5 teaspoon of coriander or dhania powder, and lastly salt. So salt is again 1.5 teaspoon I'm using. Now I'm going to give it a nice stir. So we're going to be mixing our yogurt mixture, basically our marinade. Marinades, it being chicken, lamb, paneer, it sucks in the marinade, thus improving the quality of food and thus improving the moisture within the food. See the nice colors it's taking on? Wow, brilliant. Okay, so I've got a nice marinade, nice creamy mixture out here, and I think I'm ready to put my chicken into the marinade. Okay, this is yummy. Now I've used this bowl out here to put my chicken because I don't want the water that you can see over there. Now this water will ruin the marination. I want the yogurt to stick, I want the marination to stick on the chicken, like this way. Okay, so that's that. Now dig in. Yeah, we're just massaging the chicken, yes. And the more you massage the chicken, the more better the marinade seeps into it and the more tasty your dish becomes. So I can already smell the sourness of the masala. Okay. Now I'm going to keep this aside for about 10 to 15 minutes while we build on the other flavor profile. So I'm going to start making the gravy dish now. So come on, get my dish in place. So I'll be using around 6 tablespoons of oil. Now a reason I could use ghee, which is basically a very North Indian, very Punjabi kind of style of cooking. It's basically ghee, onions, garlic, ginger. These are the 4 major profile flavors that in all North Indian dishes. But so I'll be using oil today, and I'll be putting in about 6 tablespoons of oil. Alright, so 6 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to start my gas. So while the oil heats up, I'd just like to talk a little bit about this onion paste that I've made. Now, generally, if you see any North Indian recipe, it will always call for chop onions. You chop onions, you put it in your oil, you fry it till it becomes golden brown. But nobody tells you that to fry that, to become golden brown, it takes close to about 15-20 minutes. Why waste time? It's so simple. Fry your onions with a little oil, salt, sugar. We're just talking about teaspoon. Get the moisture out with the salt. Get the caramelization going on with the sugar. And once it becomes dark brown, which happens much faster in a frying pan, in an omelette pan, send it into a blender once it's cool, and this is what you get. You're looking at 5 to 6 minutes of getting your onions, cooked. So you just get the raw taste of the onions out, and you can go on. So this is a very nice tip that you could use in home cooking. Okay, so what I'll do first is I'm going to flavor my oil with a little bit of whole garam masalas, 4 to 5 bay leaves, about 5 cardamoms, and about 5 cloves. Now I just need it till the fragrance comes up, and as soon as you get the fragrance, you send in your onion paste into the oil. Okay, just give it a good stir. Now my flame is on low. You can increase the flame just a bit. So my garam masala will take close to about 30 seconds max. So now the onions, okay? All right. So I'm doing it with a ladle because the oil is hot, the onions are a little cold, there could be a little moisture, you might just burn your hand. So just to be sure, I'm going to take it like this way. It's so simple, yeah? Now we need to mix our onions. My onion paste has started to cook because remember I've already cooked it in advance in oil, salt, sugar, blended it and got it over here. So I'm saving time here. So you could actually make an onion paste, put it in a jar, send it in your fridge. It'll stay for about a week. And you don't have time, take about 2 tablespoons, put it in your gravy, send in your paneer, vegetables, and voila, you have restaurant quality food right at home. Why order? So this will take about just about 30, maybe about a minute and a half, just to get all the flavors combined. The oil has to kind of start seeping it into the onions. And once that is done, I will add my garlic next. So my garlic and ginger will be the next ingredient that I'll be adding to my dish. Another very essential tip whenever you're making food like this way is, now I know the measurements because this is my recipe. But if you're making it, always ensure that you put 2 tablespoons of onion paste into the gravy at a time and then start mixing it, so that you want everything to just blend in and give you the right consistency of restaurant quality food made right at home. So I'm just going to add my garlic now. So about a teaspoon and a half of ginger. I love ginger in my food, man. You have to ensure that the ginger and the garlic are cooked, so this will take about a minute or minute and a half tops. Next is our 3 large tomatoes, which I'm going to be putting inside this masala. And so we're using about 8 green chillies. See, it's so nicely slit lengthwise. This is my masala. The last thing I need to put in my masala is a little turmeric powder, which I'm just going to be using about a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Yep. Okay. Do you know how to know when your masala is ready? Do you know what are the key factors, the signs in your masala? Well, I'm sure you do. But if you don't know, well, you have to identify the tomato. Once the tomato skin starts peeling back, you know your masala is cooked, and you can then go ahead and put the next ingredient. So my masala is ready. I just need to season it a bit. So I'm just going to be adding just a teaspoon and a half of salt. So as of right now, I've added about a teaspoon and a half there and a teaspoon and a half here. So far so good. And give it one good stir, and then we add our chicken. Our chicken is gone inside the masala, and I'm going to fold everything in so that all the masala, the marinade all combines and become one beautiful dish. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I've seasoned it. I'm going to shut it now and come back after 5 minutes and then add in the rest of the ingredients. Okay? There we go. I've given it 10 minutes on low flame to just let all the masalas amalgamate, mix with one another, and I'm about to open this lid now and see how our chicken is doing. So here we go. Wow, look at that. Now what I need to do is I have to add the garam masala, which is it's a Punjabi traditional garam masala. Remember, what I would suggest is you add about a teaspoon first, taste, because if you add a little more than necessary, your dish is going to get bitter, and you don't want that to happen, right? So now I'm just going to sprinkle it like this way. Okay, so just give it a good stir after putting your garam masala into the. So more or less your chicken is about 85-90% cooked. It's just the last bit that is required. So I'll show you how to identify if the chicken has been cooked or not. But I give it another 2 or 3 minutes tops for this dish to be ready. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cover this again for 2 minutes, and after that I have to put my kasuri methi and finally our cashew paste. That's it. Alright, so let's take a look into our dish now. This is delicious. This is it. The world stops here for me. Okay, so now I need to add in my kasuri methi. So I'm just going to add again just a bit of it. As I said, this is about 2.5 tablespoons of cashew, but I'm going to add it 1 teaspoon at a time, just so that I don't want it to. Okay, so I have put about a tablespoon of cashew paste. I don't think I'm going to be putting any more, and just my last bit of salt. I think it's very essential. So I would have ideally have put about 15 to 18 grams of salt in overall on this dish. So I think that's fair enough. We are supposed to have close to about 5 grams of salt in every meal, or 5 grams in a day, depending on how how your blood pressure is. But I think when you're making a dish like this, it has to taste classic. So that's it. Our dish is ready. I'm just going to cover it for the next 2 minutes, keep the fire on low, and then switch it off and just let it rest for about 10 minutes, and then let's plate out. Okay. Wow. The chicken is ready. So I'm going to garnish it with a little dhania or coriander leaves. So just want to some green chillies and some ginger. Okay. I'm just going to taste this dish and see how did it come out. This dish is rich, it's robust, it's got so many amalgamation of spices, yet so simple, and we made it at home. So guys, if you like my version of the Chicken Khurana, go ahead and watch the movie promo named Love Shafte Chicken Khurana. And if you like this version and you have a killer version of the same dish, send in your video responses. I'm waiting.
We've got loads more for you, so subscribe to this channel and ping us at food@pingnetwork.in to tell us what you would like to see here.